When you think of the word disease, what is it that comes to your mind? If you're like most, you may be thinking of heart disease, cancer, or even diabetes. I'm Dr. Feeman, and today I want to talk with you about dis-ease. You see, for many people, when they hear the word disease, or let's say they've been given the diagnosis like heart disease or cancer for that matter, society tends to look at that as though it's almost like a package that you just kind of get, that there's an external event or some kind of circumstance where somebody just got diabetes or they got cancer. When in all reality, there's usually something more than that is not so much an external factor, but an internal factor. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. You see, oftentimes when somebody's given a diagnosis, the next logical thing to most people is to treat that. And so when a patient comes into the office, if I were to look at them in the eye and say, well, let me ask you a question. Do you want heart disease or do you want health? Or perhaps maybe do you want diabetes or cancer or do you want health? And you can imagine how I would get a blank stare, people thinking that's just a silly question. Of course I want to be healthy, right? But when it comes down to it, most people, when they start to treat their sickness, symptom, or disease, they really don't do anything, or very little for that matter, on what it is that they say they want the most. They want to be healthy, but yet they're focusing on the disease itself. Let's take a look for a moment at the word disease. You see, we say we want health. Another way of looking at that is we want harmony, we want balance, we want ease, if you will. So when you think about somebody who says the word ease, imagine you're like going, I'm at ease, right? There's no tension pulling me one way or the other. In the same sense, if you look at dis-ease, it means a lack of ease or a lack of balance, harmony, homeostasis. That dis-ease is where you feel like you're being pulled in many different directions, right? So think about it like this then. It's kind of like if you're trying to get well, but you're really not focusing on how to get well. You're not giving your body what it needs, or even for that matter, considering that, you can understand how it'd be very difficult to overcome a health challenge when we're really not even focusing on anything to do with that health challenge. So let's take a look at the words themselves. Most people say they want to be healthy, right? It just makes sense. So when you look at health, we have to understand that, of course, your brain controls everything in your body. Your brain sends the message down, your body receives that message, and your body then is able to function at its best, and you're healthy. It just makes sense. You're in a state of harmony, homeostasis, in ease. Dis-ease, on the other hand, is where your body's not functioning at its best. So now your brain, which controls everything, is trying to communicate with every organ, cell, and tissue in the body. But now there's some hindrance to that communication, which leads to malfunction within. When there's malfunction, as you can imagine, there's now dis-ease. There's a lack of harmony, a lack of balance, a lack of homeostasis, which then equals disease or the lack of health. You see, when you get right down to it, dis-ease or disease is abnormal disrupted physiology. And really, that's all there is to it. So if you're thinking about disease, I'd encourage you to first and foremost, instead, focus on health. When you become a radical, someone who understands what health is and how to get it, and you start sowing life and health, into the areas that need it, you're more likely to be able to overcome a health challenge, and even better yet, to avoid those health crises to begin with. The way to do that is to give your body what it needs while avoiding those things that hinder that. Make sure that your nervous system is healthy. Make sure you have plenty of oxygen, water, and nutrition, and rest. When you give your body what it needs, your body's going to be able to function at a higher level, and that's exactly what you need. That's what you deserve, the best of health. And so until next time, God bless.